You won't believe where one of America's greatest love songs actually began. Was it really a sweet tribute, or the desperate olive branch after a blowout fight? For years, fans thought they knew everything about John Denver and the story behind that iconic ballad he wrote for his wife. But it turns out, the real truth didn't surface until Annie herself broke her silence at age 78. And when she did, the world finally learned, Annie's song wasn't born out of bliss, but out of heartbreak. So, sit tight, because we're going deep, past the romantic lyrics, past the public smiles, straight into the messy, beautiful, and yes, sometimes scandalous reality of the Denver marriage. From their first bashful letters to a literal chainsaw, this is the untold story behind a song the whole world thought they understood. Okay, let's set the scene. Picture it, for nearly 50 years, Annie's song has been a go-to for every hopeless romantic. Couples have danced to it at weddings, it's been played on countless radio stations, and every note seems soaked in devotion. Most folks imagine John Denver wrote those lyrics during a sunlit moment of perfect love, a tribute to the woman who inspired him. But just last year, Annie herself, the woman at the center of it all, finally revealed what really happened. She'd kept quiet about their marriage for decades, never rushing to the press, never airing dirty laundry. But on a podcast in 2022, Annie admitted something that left longtime fans reeling. The famous song wasn't written on a high, it came after a low. According to Annie, it was actually a moment of pain, not passion, that gave birth to Annie's song. After one of their many heated arguments, John needed space. He stormed out, put on his ski gear, and rode the chairlift up the snow-capped peaks of Aspen. Suspended above the world, in the stillness and cold, something shifted in him. Instead of stewing in anger, the solitude opened him up. The melody hit him all at once. He came home, still wearing his ski boots, and in just 10 minutes, he poured all his regret, longing, and hope into a song. Annie later said it wasn't really a love song, it was a prayer. An apology set to music. She remembered, we'd just come through a really tough time. Things were finally looking up. It changes the way you hear every note, right? It's not just about loving someone, it's about fighting for them, even when you've nearly lost each other. Even now, after all these years, after their divorce, after John's sudden death, Annie can't listen to that song without tearing up. I still cry when I hear it, she admitted, her voice breaking just a little. And get this, out of all John's songs, that's not even her favorite. Her top pick? Perhaps Love, a duet he recorded later in life, full of vulnerability and raw honesty. But when it comes to Annie's song, the connection runs deeper than just music. For Annie, it's the sound of heartbreak and hope, tangled together. What's wild is that for the millions of fans, this song is pure romance, a fairy tale, really. But for Annie, it's more complicated. To her, every word is a snapshot of a moment when their marriage was on the line. She said it belongs to everyone now, but there's a part of it that's just for her. It's a memory of what they had, and how fame, stress, and the march of time pulled it apart. If you're picturing Annie as bitter or resentful, forget it. She talks about those days with a kind of wistful acceptance, like someone who's made peace with the past. For decades, she let John's legend speak for itself. But when she finally chose to talk, her story was honest, surprising, and more human than anyone expected. Of course, not even the most perfect song could glue their marriage back together. The real culprit? Success. John's rise to stardom was meteoric. Suddenly, he was everywhere, TV, magazines, award shows. Annie, who'd once loved the quiet winters of Minnesota, was swept up in a world of red carpets and constant travel. Imagine being 20, marrying your sweetheart, and having no idea what's about to hit you. She went from handwritten notes and flannel shirts to sharing her life with a superstar. She started to lose herself, little by little. I didn't know who I was anymore, she confessed years later. John Denver, outwardly gentle and idealistic, was pulled in every direction by his career. The long stretches apart became longer. The inside jokes and whispered plans faded into missed calls and growing resentment. John saw it too. In an interview not long after their split, he admitted, my work definitely took its toll on our relationship. After a while, we just couldn't find our way back to each other. They were growing, but in different directions. For Annie, looking back, it almost felt inevitable. They were too young. The rush of John's career and the glare of the spotlight left her feeling invisible. And when it finally ended, she could have aired every painful detail, but she chose silence. She held on to the dignity of what they'd had, even after it was gone. And then, there was the incident. The one story Annie never spoke of until now, the chainsaw. Yes, it's as wild as it sounds. During their divorce, as they untangled their lives and property, something snapped. John took a chainsaw, an actual, roaring chainsaw, to their marriage bed. Not a metaphor. He cut it in half, fueled by heartbreak and anger. Why? Well, sources say it was triggered by Annie having some of John's beloved trees cut down from their Aspen property. To John, who'd always been passionate about nature, it felt like a personal betrayal. The house they built together, nestled in the Colorado mountains, had always been his refuge. When the trees went, so did his self-control. John later owned up to it in his autobiography. He didn't sugarcoat a thing. He talked about his struggles with alcohol, depression, and even physical aggression in his relationships. The public saw the gentle songwriter. Privately, he was falling apart. But Annie? She never tried to destroy his reputation. She could have gone public with the darkest parts of their story, but instead, she waited decades to quietly set the record straight. She wasn't seeking revenge. She just wanted to tell the truth, no matter how complicated or messy. And despite everything, there's still warmth in the way she talks about John. She remembers the pain, sure, but she also remembers the good, the love letters, the laughter, the moments that belonged just to them. And here's the detail that really gets you: Annie never threw away the very first love letter John ever wrote her. She keeps it on her desk. After all this time, through heartbreak and healing, that letter sits in plain sight, a reminder of how it all started. Back in college, long before the world knew his name, John was just a nervous young guy smitten with a girl in blue jeans. So next time you hear Annie's song, remember, it's not just a ballad. It's a snapshot of two people fighting for love, losing themselves, and finally, letting go. Sometimes the real stories, the ones behind the music, are more heartbreaking, more beautiful, and far messier than any song could ever tell. If you found yourself moved by Annie and John's story, don't just scroll by, hit that like button, share your favorite memory, and let us know, what's the song that still makes you cry? Stick around for more behind-the-scenes stories you never knew. Because when it comes to legends, there's always more beneath the surface.